fluffy buns with cottage cheese filling. They turn out well for everyone. Believe me, it's really very delicious. For the dough to rise well, I always make a starter. I mix milk, fresh yeast, a tablespoon of sugar, and 3 tablespoons of flour. At first, I pour in a little milk so everything mixes well and there are no lumps. Then I add the remaining milk and it turns into a perfectly smooth starter. Then I cover it with a damp towel and leave it in a warm place for about 10 minutes. Look how the starter has risen. It becomes so airy. You need to stir the starter slightly and set it aside. Let's prepare the dough. Mix the eggs, the remaining sugar, salt, vanilla, and melted butter. Then pour everything into the starter and gradually add the flour, mixing it really well. When it becomes difficult to mix in the bowl, transfer the dough onto the table and knead it by hand. Be careful with the flour, don't add too much. Dough should be soft, elastic, and lightly sticky. Transfer the dough to a bowl, grease with vegetable oil, lightly oil the top of the dough as well, and cover it with a damp towel. Leave it in a warm place for 1–1.5 hours. I place it in a turn-off oven with the light on and put a cup of boiling water next to it. This creates ideal conditions for the yeast to work. This is kind of airy dough we have. It has rises beautifully, doubling in size. The dough should be lightly punched down and covered again with a towel. Now let's prepare the filling. Mix mascarpone, cottage cheese, and egg, powdered sugar, and stretch. You can actually use any berries, including frozen ones. I had fresh strawberries on hand. Chop the berries and add half of them to the cheese filling. Divide the dough into equal portions. It's best to use a scale. Each of my pieces weighed 75 grams. Gently shape each piece into a bowl. Place the balls onto parchment paper and cover them with a towel. Let them rest for 10 minutes. Now prepare the crumb topping. Rub together the flour, room temperature butter, and sugar until it forms crumbs. Once the buns have slightly increased in size, make indentations. To do this, take a glass with a wide bottom, grease it with vegetable oil, and press firmly into each ball, so indentation is deep but without tearing the dough. Fill the indentations with our cottage cheese filling. Add berries on top and generously sprinkle with the crumb topping. Brush the edges with milk for the golden crust. It's better to leave more space between the buns so they can bake evenly on all sides. Place them in a preheated oven at 180 degrees for 25–30 minutes. And this is how wonderful the buns turn out. Be sure to try making them and subscribe to my channel.